Yeah, I have no idea if I'm going to share this. I think um, there's a sense of being threatened um, that I'm curious about if I'm able to make this or to articulate it. Um, so I guess there's fear present of the threat that I perceive, and I'm going to try to articulate it as clear as I might be, that I hope I will be able to do. Um, I guess I keep encountering this over and over again, and it might be a blind spot that there's something that I'm not perceiving. Of course, there's always something I'm not like. Um, of course, there's several things that I'm not aware of. Um, and of course, I don't know what I'm not aware of because I'm not aware of it. So, but it looks like a pattern that I'm kind of bumping up against. Um, and there's um, in my perception, it looks like there's in this authentic, not all of them, but some of the authentic relating spaces that I am trying to participate in. It looks like mm, there's a resistance to kind of um, participate with how the mind works. Or it doesn't feel welcomed in these spaces. There's always like instructions to share about the feelings underneath, and I get why it's more, yeah, it's more, it can be more connecting when we share the feelings underneath our stories, and But there seems to be a resistance to ideas or something that's perceived as ideas that is very mental or and that creates a kind of a severing of or it creates a sense of duality that if I have an idea, then it's not welcomed. Or an idea is, of course, sometimes it can be, but it seems to be this assumption that that's not important or it's not significant or it's not connecting to share some idea that people tend to refer it as philosophizing or philosophy. And of course it can be about philosophy, but um, it sounds like or it looks like for me as an assumption that that's not connecting because yeah I'm not sure why because I um it doesn't feel very whole if you kind of resisting some ideas that shows up in your awareness. So and it feels very I keep bumping up against this. It feels not it feels very narrow of experience as such if ideas is kind of frowned upon and like that people get frustrated of ideas and whatever like and I'm kind of yeah I'm very curious what this is about and I if I watch to philosophize about it it's like mm, is this kind of is modernity creating this dichotomy that ideas and is kind of separate from are separated from feelings or is it or is it mm, if that's the case if we are so ingrained with or dualistic schism from the Enlightenment era, and we're still in it. Of course, we are in it, but in my belief, maybe, is that if we're bumping if we're bumping against that mm, that severing or that duality about that ideas is something mental and feelings is something else and they're not connected, then yeah, notice I'm shaking my head because then I'm kind of questioning the whole um, like to get a grip of our experiences, we need ideas, and that's my mm, mm. And to be able to name something that we're experiencing is beyond our subjective feelings. It's also, of course, it's that, and but there's something that we need that capacity to name what's going on, and sometimes we can start from that also to oh, I get the idea, I get it. But there seem to be a pattern of people that don't want to what they call philosophy. So I guess I'm curious what I'm kind of maybe I'm rebelling against this thing. Uh, but there's also like if this is so mm, if ideas is framed as philosophy and that's not welcomed, and philosophy is basically trying to articulate something that not is already um, yeah, something about this that I'm trying to articulate that I keep bumping up against. That it sounds like and it looks like people's idea about authentic relating is something else than having ideas, and that's kind of mental and that's not welcomed. Um, and to take ownership of yeah, I'm coming, it's like the pattern seems to be that whenever an idea that people might not be familiar with is perceived as philosophizing instead of curiosity about something they don't know about. And it might be that my own curious Mercury is kind of like I just did. I said curious Mercury. And if I would to say that in a context of authentic relating, it would be instead of like asking or sharing, like or being curious, it's like no, you're philosophizing and that's not welcomed. Instead of being more welcoming and like, yeah, what I didn't understand or I didn't like. I noticed like resistance when you started to philosophize instead of being more welcomed and like, yeah, and admitting that you don't know what this means or sharing that you're ignorant or sharing about frustration of not understanding or something like, yeah, it's I noticed I felt I like I need some clarification because I don't know the what you're talking about when you're saying that Mercury and stuff like that, and then it would open itself up to a more shared reality, and we would be able to relate again. So that's my take on this pattern that I'm keeping bumping up against. And if and I'm also like there's something about admitting that I don't know what people are saying. I tend to ask. Um, maybe that's my blind spot. It feels very natural to me to ask what people are saying or what they're meaning or trying to convey, and um, maybe that's my blind spot that I kind of anticipate that people would be inclined to ask if they don't understand something. Yeah, I'm sure, but yeah. Felt like important enough to try to explore, and I'm open for anyone who can shine some more light on this that I'm kind of pondering about, and maybe that the pondering itself is, yeah, that's kind of where I guess my love for pondering and curiosity and my curiousness and wondering might not be appropriate to bring into authentic relating spaces. And if that's so, I might mm, reconsider where I'm participating, and maybe the threat is what I started to say, that I felt threatened by being evicted out of the spaces that I have experienced several times. So, and I hope or I imagine that there's something I need to learn, but if there's something, of course, there's a lot that I'm not aware of. Uh, so this is me kind of reaching out to try to shine some light on this pattern. That's it for now. So it's been a long time since I've made some video. Um, and I'm more focused on writing, no, reading, and yeah, I'm gonna leave it there. And if you're listening to this, I feel very welcome and open to speak about it in a conversation. Okay, we're having a good day, and I wish you all the best.